Hi, I'm Leon Osinski, and in this video we're going to look back into the past to get some clues of how our ancestors lived to improve our lives now. Now there's a lot of propaganda about the health status of our ancestors. Many people believe that we died very young, our ancestors died very young, and they died of easily curable things that we can now cure in modern medicine and modern health. And this is very, very far from the truth. We get our early explorer testimonies, we get missionary and colonialists that went around the world, and across the world, whatever they found very robust communities and tribes and indigenous populations, lots of elders, extreme physical health, even in the extremely harsh conditions that they lived in. And this is not to romanticize at all going back into the past and thinking that life was better than it all, but they saw very little mental health issues. They didn't see many jails or prisons or problems like that. Fertility was not an issue at all. There was no chronic illness. There was clearly no cancer, any of those sort of things. And then if we go even further back, we get some archaeological sites. You'll see almost every single archaeological site in adult skulls. You'll see full sets of teeth, wide arches, no crooked teeth, no crowding, no cavities, like really no problems within that, and great skeletal structures. So where do we have to go to start seeing changes? And more than likely, the biggest changes really started around the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages. That was very challenging when people started moving into villages and towns more and outside of the rural areas. And the biggest changes started happening around the Industrial Revolution, the industrialization of the world, where people literally left the traditional lives and came into cities, and there was no sanitation, there was no running water, people would throw out their waste out of the windows, there was extremely poor air, there was so much burning smog and smoke and industrial pollution around. And so things really started changing around then. But when these anthropological people would go around the world and look at indigenous tribes, what they would find is none of these problems until they started accepting modern living. And there are a few things within our modern life that we cannot go back on because we get amazing luxuries of living in this modern world. There's so much protection from our technology to allow us to not be exposed to extreme elements. But there are a couple of very big things that have changed. One of them is the quality of our food and the access to high quality food, extreme amounts of pesticides, synthetic fertilizers, modifications of foods. Also access to absolute junk through processing. Then we've got a change in the quality of our water. Our air pollution is probably better than it was in the early industrial revolution, but much worse than our pristine cultures. We are seeing significantly less sunshine and fresh air. And we are significantly more sedentary, so we don't move much. And then one of the biggest changes right now, because we are indoors a lot, is we are exposed to extreme amounts of artificial light, specifically LEDs nowadays and fluorescent a few years before, and these blue spectrum, lots of technology, screen time, laptops, phones. And so when we want to look at how to get the best of what our ancestors and the indigenous populations were getting, because they were robust, they were strong, they didn't have medications, they didn't have access to doctors or dentists, and they seemed to be able to have great fertility and great health. This is what was shared by people that met them firsthand. We need to start mimicking all the things that they had that we don't have anymore, while keeping the modern benefits that we have in our life today. So I'm going to just talk a little bit more about that in subsequent videos, and then we can start bringing these things and mimic what was good in their lives to improve our health nowadays. Thank you.